would answer that by going back in time and looking at my field, because we had in the Cold War two mutually hostile camps brandishing tens of thousands of nuclear weapons. And in that context, the technologists and scientists who were behind the nuclear weapons programs got together, the Americans and the Russians. And they formed an organization called the Pugwash group of scientists that met in Canada first in a little village, a tiny place in the middle of nowhere called Pugwash. Mm-hmm. And they set up this dialogue, this conversation. And you say that the technologists are not schooled in this sort of conversation, but neither were they. But they sat down and they compared notes about how they felt as individuals deep inside the system of the nuclear weapons programs. And that conversation created another layer of dialogue between these two states that were not talking. And they won the Nobel Peace Prize, the Pugwash Institute. My sense today is that this organization, Pugwash, could do exactly a similar sort of activity today around some of the stuff I'm doing around emerging technologies and how they apply to nuclear weapon systems, and the potential for destabilizing what appears to be relatively stable relationships. These guys working on autonomous underwater vehicles are building autonomous underwater vehicles. They know the mission, they know the purpose, but they don't know the bigger, deeper impact. Now, we're looking at creating regular discussion forums for these guys, just applying their curiosity and interest about raising their sights beyond the short-term mission to what the consequences might be and what their opinions are, because their opinions are just as important as people like us who spend all our time thinking about the higher level, because we need to know the detail as well. So that dialogue is really interesting, and that's the sort of model that I would have, is going beyond asking the question that Alfred was talking about, what is the intention? What is the purpose? Because you have your missions, they're fine, that's what you're doing. But actually, you have power, you have influence in the broader system. So how can we operate in ways, how can we ask for help? We've got power, but we want to pull people in who have another perspective. How can we engage and transform the system so that the mission that we have, the second order mission, making money, creating expansion, having a functioning organization, how does that sit in a broader ecology? The broader ecology being society, global society, and where we're going. Because we're human beings and we want to play a constructive, positive role.